What if the next camera you buy is the last camera you need for the next 10 years? What if one single body could handle landscapes, fashion, wildlife, studio work, and serious filmmaking without forcing you to compromise? Because that is exactly the promise Sony is quietly making with the A7R VI. And if the leaks are even close to accurate, this is not just another camera launch. This is Sony reminding the entire industry who set the standard in the first place. For a long time, the A7R name has meant one thing above everything else. Detail, pure, unforgiving detail. The kind of resolution that lets you crop without fear. The kind that holds together when printed massive. The kind that reveals textures you did not even notice with your own eyes. From the very beginning, the A7R series was never meant for casual shooters. It was built for people who obsess over image quality. People who zoom in to 100%. People who demand files that can be pushed hard in post and still survive. That reputation did not happen by accident. Sony earned it generation by generation. The A7R II shocked the industry by proving that high resolution did not have to mean terrible low-light performance. The A7R IV took resolution into territory that once belonged only to medium format systems. The A7R V showed that intelligence matters just as much as megapixels, with AI autofocus that felt almost unreal at times. Now comes the A7R VI, and expectations have never been higher. This camera is not arriving into a quiet market. It is entering one of the most competitive periods mirrorless cameras have ever seen. Canon is stronger than ever. Nikon has closed the gap. Fujifilm has its own loyal following. Everyone is pushing harder. Everyone is listening more to creators. And that is exactly why the A7R VI matters so much. Sony cannot afford to play it safe anymore. This camera has to be bold. It has to be balanced. And most importantly, it has to feel worth upgrading to. According to leaks, Sony understands this pressure very clearly. The A7R VI is expected to keep the familiar alpha body shape. And that is not a weakness. It is a strength. Professionals build muscle memory over years. They want to grab the camera and instantly know where everything is. Sony is expected to respect that while still refining the experience. A tougher magnesium alloy chassis is rumored. Stronger, more rigid, built to survive years of abuse. Improved weather sealing is also expected. Better protection against dust. Better resistance to moisture. These details matter when you shoot landscapes in bad weather or wildlife far from comfort. Small changes can completely change how a camera feels. The grip is rumored to be slightly refined. Better balance with heavy lenses. Less strain during long shoots. More confidence when holding the camera for hours. Control layout improvements are also expected. A more precise joystick. Dials with deeper clicks. Extra customizable buttons placed where they actually make sense. These are not flashy upgrades, but professionals feel them every single day. The electronic viewfinder is another area where Sony is expected to raise the bar again. Leaks point to a next-generation 9.4 4mm EVF with improved brightness, clarity, and refresh rate. The goal is simple. Make it feel as close to optical as possible. Smooth motion. Minimal lock. Clear visibility even in harsh sunlight. For photographers who live inside the viewfinder, this is huge. It reduces eye strain. It improves tracking. It makes fast subjects easier to follow. The fully articulating rear screen is expected to return, and that is no longer optional in 2026. Hybrid creators need flexibility. Shooting low angles, high angles, vertical content, front-facing video, live streaming, solo work. The A7R VI is clearly being designed for modern creators, not just traditional photographers. At the heart of this camera sits the most important upgrade of all. A newly developed 66-megapixel stacked full-frame CMOS sensor, paired with the latest Bion's XR processor. This combination changes everything. A stacked sensor means much faster readout speeds. That reduces rolling shutter. It improves responsiveness. It allows more advanced autofocus and video features. Historically, High resolution meant slow performance. Sony is trying to break that rule. Leaks suggest the A7R6 could shoot up to 12 frames per second with full autofocus and auto exposure tracking. That is insane. For a 66-megapixel camera, this blurs the line between high-resolution studio cameras and high-speed action bodies. Wildlife photographers no longer have to choose between detail and speed. Sports shooters gain massive cropping flexibility without sacrificing responsiveness. Photojournalists get resolution without delay. Autofocus is expected to be one of the strongest points of the A7R6. Sony has led this area for years, and leaks suggest the system will go even further. Advanced AI subject recognition. Humans. Animals. Birds. Vehículos. Possibly even insects and aircraft. Real-time tracking that feels predictive. Not just fast, but trustworthy. Autofocus is not about specs. It is about confidence, knowing the camera will lock on and stay locked, even when everything gets chaotic. Low-light performance has always been the biggest concern with ultra-high-resolution sensors. Smaller pixels usually mean more noise. Sony appears to be addressing this with dual-gain architecture, smarter noise reduction, and more advanced processing. The goal is cleaner high ISO images, better shadow recovery, more usable dynamic range. This matters for night shooters, indoor events, and documentary work where lighting is unpredictable. In-body image stabilization is rumored to reach up to 8 stops. That is massive. It allows handheld shooting in situations that once required tripods. Slower shutter speeds, lower ISO, more freedom. Travel photographers carry less gear. Street photographers shoot more spontaneously. Filmmakers get smoother handheld footage without always needing a gimbal. Image quality remains the foundation of the A7R philosophy. And with 66 megapixels, expectations are extremely high. Fine textures, subtle details, images that hold up under extreme scrutiny. Large prints become effortless. Commercial work gains flexibility. Fission retains fabric detail. Architecture benefits from precision. Cropping feels like freedom, not compromise. Pixel shift multi-shooting is expected to return in an improved form. By combining multiple frames, photographers could create images well beyond 200 megapixels. This is not for everyone, but for landscapes, product photography, and studio work, it is unmatched. Focus bracketing is also expected, giving macro and studio shooters more control with less effort. Color science is rumored to see refinement as well. More natural skin tones, smoother gradients, colors that look good straight out of camera. This reduces editing time. It builds trust in the files. And for professionals, time matters. Video is where the A7R6 may surprise the most. Historically, the A7R line focused on stills first. Video came second. That balance is changing. Leaks suggest 8K video recording up to 30 frames per second with minimal crop. Oversampled 4K from full sensor readout. Internal 10-bit 4:2:2 recording. Professional profiles like S-Log3, S-Cinetone, and HLG. This puts the A7R6 firmly into serious hybrid territory. Filmmakers can match footage with Sony cinema cameras. Content creators gain flexibility. Documentary shooters get reliability. Heat management is also rumored to be improved. Better internal cooling. Smarter power control. Longer recording times. Fewer interruptions. This is critical for real-world work. When you step back and look at the A7R6 as a whole, it becomes clear what Sony is trying to do. This camera is not about chasing numbers. It is about balance. Extreme resolution, yes, but also speed, stability, intelligence, and real video power, all in one body. My honest opinion is this. If Sony delivers even most of what these leaks suggest, the A7R6 could become one of the most complete full-frame cameras ever made. It will not be for beginners. It will not be cheap, but for professionals and serious creators who demand detail without sacrificing versatility. This camera could easily become the new benchmark. This is Sony reminding the world why the A7R name still matters. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon.